What's up, YouTube? This is Sienna Magdalena, also known as Hidden House. Today I want to talk about healing. What is healing? What does a healer do? How is this different than therapy? I think that there's a lot of people who are really unsure what this even means unless you are fully on a spiritual path. And for those that are and know what this means, then feel free to listen and hear my take on it. In my personal opinion, a healer is somebody who can see you in a way that you are not able to see yourself in that moment. They can see ahead, they can see a future version of you, they can see your heart, you can feel your energy, and they hold a space for you, and at times hold a light to guide you on that path to reach that version of yourself. So they don't have magical powers to heal you. They're definitely gifted. Spiritual gifts is a real thing. This does play into shamanic medicine, spiritual healing, all of these sorts of alternative things. But it is not the basis of it. The basis of it is to hold a space, to enable clients, patients, followers to heal themselves, and also to find the light within them, to reignite that part of them. So therapy, psychology primarily deals with the mind, and a lot of spiritual healers and alternative healers will also incorporate many aspects of psychology. You know, Carl Jung is like one of my favorites, but it differs from regular therapy in the way that it doesn't end there. So it's more inclusive of the mind, with the body, with the soul, and with the spirit, as they all sort of interact together. And we experience different parts of ourselves in each of these realms. So the body can sometimes be indicative of things that are going on in the mind, maybe unhealthy thoughts, negative thoughts. If they are not dealt with, they will manifest in the body. In a similar way that if the body is not treated with love and as our temple and with a certain amount of respect, it can affect our mental health. There are certain things that feed our soul. There are certain things that speak to the spirit within us, which is something that doesn't have super distinct characteristics. It's really the life force from the universe, from God, from creator source. This is what us spiritual healers believe, that's flowing within us. So that's one thing. And while behavioral therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy will work with the mind and help you and sort of do certain practices to enable you to really change some sort of behaviors and patterns, it doesn't necessarily deal fully with alchemizing cells and DNA within the full spectrum, which is fine. Sometimes it's not needed. But if you are curious about, taking it further, maybe you've been in therapy for 10 years, and you're coasting, but you're not really seeing like the full results, or you're not really feeling like you've made enough progress and you're just kind of still there. Like, going to a healer can help clear out more. We work in other realms, other dimensions than just the 3D plane where our brains and our ego mind live, and that can be really helpful. That can be really, really, really helpful, because oftentimes we are not able to access certain things in this 3D realm, nor is it safe, okay? Nor is it safe. So a healer will make sure you're in a safe place so that you can access these parts of yourselves, go within, go travel to another dimension at times, and work with other energies that where a lot of work can be done, and then help bring you back to your body and to the 3D plane, and let those energies settle, and you will see the results of that work. One thing to keep in mind that's very important with this sort of work, and with any shamanic work, with any medicine that is not pharmaceutical or specifically Western medicine science, is that the person who is engaging in this work as the patient or the client, they must believe, because without this belief, it will not work. Okay, if there is resistance there, even if there's, you know, a little resistance, if you're nervous, if you never tried something like this or it feels far out there, that's okay, as long as you're like are open to it working and to being true. There is a way there. But if you are completely closed off to it, you could do Reiki and energy on somebody all day, but if their body does not want to accept it, and you have not had permission to do this work on them, and you have not asked permission to their body, mind, spirit to receive this sort of work, it's a no-go. Okay, and this isn't just something that like healers talk about and mumbo jumbo. This is also like, you know, movie directors Alejandro Jodorowsky like practices tarot and shamanic medicine and speaks of this as well. So it's important, right? So if you are interested, if you do want to heal other aspects of yourself deep down within, okay, outside of just the brain and mental health, then that sort of belief and openness needs to be there. It needs to naturally occur. And the last thing I'll say about healing work is that we do not avoid pain. It is not intended to be a painful thing, but it is not just meant to be done on somebody, like you go to get Reiki and that Reiki practitioner is doing all your work for you. That's not what real healing is, okay? That's a tool that people can use for healing, and I'm also an energy worker, so I'm not talking badly about Reiki or pranic healing. I'm a pranic healer myself. However, this is a tool that we use to assist others in healing themselves and doing the work within and clearing out energies, clearing out chakras to get the energy systems working again, okay? But it's not meant as a substitute. And really, it is about the willingness to go through pain, okay? And there's a difference between pain and suffering. So pain is actually really an amazing tool that we have as humans. It's something that we feel. We feel love, we feel hate, we feel anger, and we feel pain. Those are some of the things that we get to feel. That is what makes us human, is that we feel. And we live in a society that does everything in its power to help us avoid this feeling and to avoid these wounds and to avoid this pain. TV, film, food, you know, I'm not saying like all this stuff is bad. I'm just saying it can be manipulated, and work, you know, career. It can be manipulated in a way to essentially cause us to avoid ourselves and never really get to know ourselves. And without getting to know ourselves, we're never gonna be able to do that healing work. Like, this is part of the work. It's about getting to know who you are inside, reclaiming that worth, and healing those wounds so that you can then shine brighter in the world or help guide others to do the same. Wouldn't that be beautiful? There's no real healing if we're gonna avoid truth, and oftentimes truth is painful. So it is for the brave of heart, but it's also for the gentlest, most sensitive souls I know. So, you know, which sheds a new sort of light on sensitivity in itself. Is that really a weakness, or is that just the necessity of human beings at this point on this earth to embody these sensitivities so that we can take humanity to a new place, that we can feel things deep enough to be able to move through them because they get so uncomfortable, and to be able to feel how we're feeling and use our intuition as a guidance system. And the last thing I'll say about pain is that there's so much intelligence in pain. There's so much to be learned. It really is a medicine in its own, and this differs than suffering. Suffering is a long-lasting uncomfortability of pain due to the avoidance of pain. So pain really should be something that we move through, something that teaches us, and suffering occurs when we avoid this, and it lingers, and it eats away at us, and we repress it, and it comes out in other ways. It can come out as sickness, it can come out as addiction, whatever. Healers really help to just get into this without the bounds of science and the psyche, which is a crucial part of it, but is not all of it. We tend to the spirit, and we encourage and help others be able to clear out and to be able to tune in to what spirit is. We believe there is a life force and a grand creator. We are all this. We are all spirit. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Often we're taught that we are, just having a human experience, and that's all there is. It's nice sometimes to have a guide so that you're not taken to a place that's unsafe for you within your psyche or within your soul, whatever place you're at in your journey, to know how to protect yourself properly and to take care of yourself after a healing session. Essentially, when energy is moved, it needs to be able to settle. It takes a few days. You don't want to run out and go get, I've had clients, I've worked on clients, and then they run out and literally go get Botox after, and I'm like, this is so not what it is about. But again, here we are, and I'm in LA, so what are you gonna do? But I would love to call in people who really want to do this work, who really want to dive in, who really want to get to know themselves, and maybe they hold so much fear and are so sensitive. I know I personally was one of those people at one point in my life, and at times still can be, but the willingness to be fearless and to fearlessly look into who you really are, into the truth of how you're really feeling, and heal yourself. That's what I'd like to call in, because I know that there's people out there who want to keep doing this work. So if you're one of them, and if this sounds like something that's interesting to you, at all, follow my channel. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this stuff, and I love to talk about this. This is my favorite thing to talk about. I know my partner is probably done hearing about it. It's all I talk about. And there's a lot to explore. So this is a little intro. I'm Sienna again, and I look forward to making more videos and more content. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to sharing more with you all.